Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Kol Haloyim, Layel, Bashim Yavashai, Bahashim Dash. Double honors to our apostles and to our elders of Great Millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful, beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yavashai to the best of their ability. Jachana Nawab. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, just a PSA. And this has always been going on, right? Let's get this TikTok real quick. And this is something that this young lady is just finding out. You know, I'm a little bit older, so I knew about them. And they're actually here where I'm at, you know, the city that I live in. But let's get some of her little video real quick. Because, you know, hey, a lot of our people don't know about the history of the so-called white man. But why? Because this is the reason why they don't want CRT or critical race theory being taught. Because it'll teach you that certain things that so-called white people was doing was vicious as hell. See, what they want you to know about them is that they're these righteous people and that we love everyone and we're inclusive and we love diversity. But no, man, these people are still the same people to this very day. So let's get some of this young lady's video, and you're going to see that this particular generation don't understand. And this is Black Information Network, which we're not black. See, she don't even understand the fact that she's not actually even black, because she's a brown-skinned woman. Her hair is black, her eyebrows are black, her eyelashes are black, appears that her pupils are black, but you can clearly see that she's a brown-skinned woman, right? So get that black thing out of your mind, because so-called white people came up with white and black. There's no such thing as black people. There's different shades of brown people on the planet. There is no such thing as white people. There are different shades of red. There are different shades of pinkish to reddish in color, and that's what they are. And their biblical name is Esau, Edom. That's their biblical name. Deuteronomy, Salakia, Genesis 25 and 25, it goes off into Esau, Edom being red, hairy. And you see them. You see some of these big back, red ass, and they really just... check them out. Pay attention to your average so-called white person when you see them out in Walmart and they look like a goddamn the top of a thermometer, a stop sign, or brake lights on an ambulance or something like that, man. They're not white. They're pinkish to reddish. But let's get some of this, because this is some of the hatred that they're going to have to pay for. Let's get it. Oh, Salakia. Let me go back real quick. I don't know what just happened. But, let's go back into it real fast. Salakia. You got to realize who you're dealing with here, man. A cunning hunter. And cunning hunters, they set things up. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be known. Oh, see, this is a whole nother video. All right. Well, let's get this one first.
If you're
Salakia. Hopefully it'll pop in on us. Loading up a little bit. And sundown towns are real. Because I live in Michigan in 8 Mile. See, people see the movie 8 Mile and they think of Eminem. But you don't go past 8 Mile.
So I was today years old when I found out what a sundown town is. Apparently, a sundown town is a town where the residents are only white. Okay, you can work there if you're a person of color in the daytime, but when the sun sets, you need to be out of there. And if you're not, you can risk being killed, beaten, arrested, ran out of town, or even lynched. And I also heard sometimes the cops don't even intervene if a white person is doing something to you, because you're not supposed to be out there after the sun sets anyway. This is mostly down in southern states like Texas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. It is in mostly all states, but it's more common in southern states. If you're caught driving out at night through a sundown town and you're a person of color, you're not safe. So before you take any trips, please do your research on sundown towns. Ever heard the phrase, be in before the streetlights come on? Generational trauma passed on. That's where that came from. Be safe taking southern routes. And sundown towns are way more common than you think, so please be careful.
Okay, so now this is what she has to say. Now it goes into sundown towns after the sun goes down, but your ass is not safe even during the daytime, because the so-called white man will roll up on you with a squad car, pull your ass over, and shoot you. So, but this all goes back to the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? Let me go into that real fast, because we gotta always pull scripture. We can pull all the stories that we want, but it all goes off into scripture. Right, let's go into Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let me get verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Right? Now, if you go down here to verse 14, so the Lord, he set it up, right? Where if we listen to him, we were going to be above all nations. But if we didn't, now here you go, verse 15, curses for being disobedient. But if, but it shall come to pass, Salakia, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt thou be in the field, cursed shall be thy basket and store. And when you go all the way through this, it goes all the way into what's coming here in the slavery. Deuteronomy 68, 28 and 68. It goes off into us having to go to our enemy for one of all things, clothing, food, water. And that's what we have to do. See, we have no standing military. We don't have anything of our own. That's how you know who the children of Israel are. And once you go to verse 46 right here, right? It reads, and they shall be upon thee. These are signs, right? Let me get 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, Yahweh, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. They shall be upon thee for a sign and for wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And that's why they can steal. It ain't got nothing to do with you being in their towns now. They'll gun your ass down in your own little towns. You see? Because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. See, we got to go to them for food, supermarkets, Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, and in thirst. I don't give a shit if it's a Gatorade, a Pepsi, a Coke, or just water coming through your faucet. And in nakedness, I don't give a shit if it's Louis Vuitton, Gucci, or just a regular cotton shirt that you getting out of Walmart. You got to go to them for those things, right? And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And you know what? The apostle was talking about that last night. And I normally keep this in here. I may still have it in my tab, right? Let's see if it pops up though. So like it, bear with me. I'm going to these tabs real quick. Here we go right here, right? I normally keep this up here. Yoke of iron. If you type in yoke of iron, who do you see? Niggas. See? You're in images. All you're going to see is niggas. So this is how you know who the scriptures is talking about. And the Lord left that there for a reason. So it can show you who the children of Israel are, right? So now let's go back into this. Because, hey, matter of fact, read through Deuteronomy chapter 28. Any of you that are coming across this video for the first time, or coming across the true Hebrew Israelites for the first time, read through the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. And if you don't see that they fit Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, then, hey, the Lord just don't want you to know it, man. You know? And especially this yoke of iron part, right? As soon as you put in yoke of iron, you're not gonna see nobody else pop up. Where's those Jews that's over there in the land? Where are they at? Do you see any of them here? Do you see any of them when it comes to yokes of iron? See, this is all you see. Look at this. It's amazing. All you got to do it, and that's why we use DuckDuckGo too. You know, we try and steer clear of Google, because Google don't want a lot of information coming out these days. But let's get this guy's TikTok. Because matter of fact, like I said, I live in Michigan, in Detroit, right? Now, Eminem is supposedly from Detroit, right? They have this movie that's called 8 Mile. But here in Detroit, Jake, no, don't go past 8 Mile after dark. Because 8 Mile, if you go past 8 Mile, that's a whole nother county. That's, damn, I ain't been there so long, hell, I can't even think of the county name. Oakland County, Salakia. It's like, I think it used to be the 3rd richest county in America. Yeah, it's like one of the 3rd richest counties in America. And they don't have sidewalks. They'll tell you, hey, if you have to walk here, you can't afford to live here. They don't have, not even sidewalks for people to jog on or anything like that. It's like nothing but mansions, or mini mansions, or whatever you want to call them. But, and that's even where Eminem live at. He lives over here in that area, Rochester area or whatever. You see? So when they get to talking about 8 Mile, just know that it's a sundown town. And that's a long ass strip. 8 Mile is a long ass strip. And it's all Oakland County. And if you go over there, you're going to be subject to being pulled over, man. Stop, frisk. And I used to work out there, and I used to always just be afraid as hell coming home, man. Like, damn, these motherfuckers going to stop me. They're going to do this. I've been stopped 5, 6, 7 cities just trying to make it to the other side of 8 Mile and to 7 Mile. Just trying to make it home, man. And it's after dark. So they will get at you, man. Well, let's get this guy's story. Let's see what he has to say.
Yo, let me tell y'all as quickly as I can about my night in a sundown town. Excuse me. Yes, I said that correctly. A sundown town. 2022, a sundown town. For those who don't know what a sundown town is, look it up on Google. But anyway, so I get a load going to a particular city in Texas, and I'm like, okay, well, let me head on over here and drop this off. They're going to pay me this much. That's perfect. I like that. It's a quick 200 miles, make it quick. Whatever the amount was, great, cool. I get there, and I look at the exit. I'm like, wait a minute. It took me to exit 861A. For those who don't know, it's a place called Vidor, Texas, Vidor, Vidor. I'm like, uh-oh, I heard stories. Like, pretty much everybody I know in Texas that's black tells me, do not go to Vidor, Texas. I'm like, okay. Yet here I was in Vidor, Texas. My load didn't deliver until this morning. This is from the perspective of yesterday. Didn't deliver until tomorrow at 8. It was like 5:30. So I get to the place. I'm not giving names of companies or anything like that. But while I'm driving to the place, I see trailer parks. I see a bunch of Confederate flags. I saw a doll of a black man. It was just a doll wrapped in a Confederate flag hanging from a tree by its neck. That's the type of stuff I saw in Vidor, Texas, which led me to believe that the reputation was fairly earned. I get there, the security guard says, hey, we got a code red.
Wow. Yeah, anyway. Salakia, man. We don't need it all, but you get the point. It says, as born and raised in Texas, black people, please do not stop.
As a born and raised Texan.
We don't need to get all these, man,
Black people, please do not stop in Vidor, TX.
Guy gets on the phone.
It's
one of the many sundown towns in Texas.
This is the history of America, man. Matter of fact, we can just go into it. Let's pull a tab and just put in sundown towns. And I'm not going to keep the lesson long, but to show you the history of you so-called white people, man, and you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you need to understand I ain't even had to put the whole thing in. It's already popped up. You need to realize that you're dealing with a wicked-ass people, man. They got that in the Wikipedia right here. Sundown towns are also known as sunset towns, gray towns, or sundowner towns, are all white municipalities or neighborhoods in the United States that practice a form of racial segregation by excluding non-whites via some combination of discriminatory local laws, intimidation, or violence. The term came from signs posted that colored people have to leave town by sundown. Entire sundown counties and sundown suburbs were also created by the same process. And that's where you get redlining from and all this other stuff, man. Yeah, and you can go into it yourself. We're not going to go all off into it, but I just wanted to just show this. Now, let's go off into Salakia. Let's go into the scriptures here and show you who you're dealing with here, right? And everybody is starting to see it. Everybody is starting to see it. See, these other nations, like they deal with the so-called white man, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese, the so-called Cambodians, Philippines, whoever you want to name. They'll deal with them to do business, but they even have sense enough to not go into these people's neighborhoods. They even understand that the so-called white man is vicious as hell. They know it, man. They understand it. But see, the people that don't understand that shit is you niggas that's been hung, raped, robbed, and pillaged in this place all along. You still just, oh, well, yeah, all of them are not bad. Yeah, get the hell out of here, man. First Thessalonians 2. Verse, is that what we want? Second Thessalonians, Salakia. You got to realize who you're dealing with, man. You're dealing with cunning hunters. These people been hunting niggas forever. They put a hound dog out on your ass, man, with that yoke of iron on your neck. And while them bells is ringing, know exactly where your ass is at, man. Cunning hunters. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And that falling away was us. Falling away from this law, statutes, and commandments. Falling away from our customs. Falling away from the things that Yahweh H.I.M showed us and told us to do. Right? Now, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now that man of sin is being revealed. And that's the so-called white man, the so-called white race, which is Esau, Edom. That's their biblical name. There's no such thing as white people in the Bible. You're not going to see white people in the Bible. They're pinkish to reddish in color, and that's the way that the scriptures describes Esau, Edom. Not good, and not only that, describes him as a cunning hunter. You see, describes him as the person that has the gift of the sword, which goes into weaponry. No one can make a better weapon than the so-called white man. This man has the atomic weapon, the atomic bomb, the atomic a nuclear weapon. From a shotgun to a crossbow. This man is expert at hunting people. He's expert at hunting animals. Check it out. Just look at your hunting channel. Look at a hunting channel, or go to Walmart and go through the area and just try and get some tackle and bait. Go and try and get a fishing rod. And look at the just simple shit that he will have in a Walmart. This man is insane, man. Right? Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worship, so that he, as Yahweh, sit in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh. So this person, he sits, let me get that verbatim though. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, right? Or that is worship, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. That's why you got so many niggas running around here talking about, I believe in science. I don't believe in God. I believe in the so-called white man that the Lord created, though. You see? But whose face did they cover? They covered the Yahweh Shai's face. They covered Yahweh's face. They whitewashed pictures and gave you a so-called white man for your Lord. They beat that shit into niggas during slavery. Got you out here thinking that, the person that you're supposed to be looking up to as far as like your God or your Lord who created the universe, they'll give you the Big Bang Theory. They're not going to tell you that they actually created it, but they will tell you that, oh yeah, there was nothing came, and just all of a sudden there was nothing there, and just all of a sudden there was an explosion. And here go niggas and frogs and people and dragons and dinosaurs and fire and rain and thunder and clouds and you name it. The list goes on, man. There's so much shit here. Alligators and crocodiles and everything came from a big bang that these so-called white people is telling you that everything came from, man. And nothing can be further from the truth. You see? But look, these sundown towns, you have to really realize that you're still in. All of America is a sundown town for Negroes. Just remember that. You're not safe anywhere you go in this place. This is a prison house for us. This is captivity for us. The Lord said that he would send us into captivity to a vile and base, foolish nation of people. Look at how they run things. That's how you know who they are and who we are. Because we didn't listen, we weren't obedient, And he placed you under a vile, stupid ass nation of people. The so-called white man is not smart, man. The Lord gave them the ability to do enchantments and sorcery and wizardry and, a bunch of other shit. But when it straight comes down to it, they are not smart, man. They make it seem as if they're the most intelligent people. Look at us. We have space stations. Look at us. We can fly to the moon. Look at us. But they're destructive in everything that they do. Having wisdom is to avoid destruction. You're destroying your own. So you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, just be circumspect. I say it all the time when you're going out in public. That's why we bring up description going off into doing your shopping and doing everything that you have to do B time. I just had that scripture up too. Let me put it back in. Done another lesson. I had that up. Let's go into the Apocrypha on that real quick. What was that? Ecclesiasticus. Slakia. Oh, they playing games right now. What's good? I just had it up here too. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus 32:11. Rise up, be times, and be not the last, but get thee home without delay. You don't want to be out in their towns, even in the daytime. But it's more safer to go and do your shopping in the morning, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, while the drug heads, the dope heads, the opioid pill taking crackers, while they're still asleep from their overnight overdose, so to speak. Go ahead and do your stuff. Don't be out shopping and while they're out, when they finally get up to go and think about shooting up a school or a parade or something, man. You see? Get on up, go do your thing, B time, which means early. Get on up, go to the ATM if you got to go to the ATM. Go to the dentist. Well, I mean, of course, you do things as early as you can. But when it comes to fuck going out to thank God it's Friday, you're going to Buffalo Wild Wings and all this. So no, fuck that shit. It's too expensive anyway these days, and we're not living in this time period. Because especially you women, because it's you that want to go out and do these things. You so-called black women, man. So-called Hispanics, Native American women, stay your asses at home. Why don't you fucking cook a meal, man? Go to the supermarket early in the morning, get everything that you want to do. You want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get some Buffalo Wild Wings. Why don't you do that shit yourself? What's so hard about you making some Buffalo Wild Wings? What's so hard about you making margaritas at the house? Oh, well, I want to go. I want to go out. No, the fuck, you ain't got to go nowhere, man. Just go do your shopping and come home. Because these sundown towns will get your ass done dirty in. Here you go. You out 3, 4 o'clock in the morning at a goddamn Denny's with a bunch of redneck truck drivers sitting there looking at you niggas like you crazy as hell. What the fuck? They looking at you like, what you doing here? Come on, man. I know it's 2022 and you feeling like you should be able to go anywhere and do. Yeah, the law says that, but is everything expedient? And I've been bringing that out too. Let's see. No, man, you got to use wisdom out here, man. You're going out here trusting being around these white people like, oh, well, not all of them are bad. Who gives a shit which ones are? I'm not trying to figure out which ones are. I don't trust the baby in the stroller. I don't trust the infant in the mama's stomach. Because the scripture says they come out, they're estranged from the womb speaking lies, man. Let me see here. 1 Corinthians 6:12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. See, all things are lawful. Yeah, is it lawful to go out into a suburban neighborhood and go to any bar? Anywhere that you can be the only couple there, and all the people there are white people. The whole establishment can be so-called white people, from the people that's serving drinks to the people that's serving the tables. It could be 100 so-called white people in there, and you can just be the one couple, or you can just be that one group of so-called black women that's there. You just want to go out and have a good time. You want to have a big ass margarita. You want to have a big ass Sunday, you know, or damn want to share a banana boat with whatever, you know. But is it expedient when all the things that are going on in the country where you know for a fact these people hate your guts? Why would you trust somebody behind the counter that don't like your kind? You don't know what they're gonna do. They can spit in your drink, you know. Stir some shit in your food. Bullshit. And you just taking that chance, man. Why put yourself on the line and take a chance for some tacos you could have made at home, or a damn cheeseburger you could have made at home, some fries you could have threw in a damn pan on the stove, man. Why'd you taking those chances? It's not even. Come on, man. Food is. If you a woman and you can't cook shit like that, what's wrong with you? You can't create an environment at your home. You can't create a suitable environment at your home. Turn on some music, you know. Make everything casual. You can't do that as a woman at your home. You really go and spend $100 on some shit that you could have done at your house for 20? Come on, man. You know, hey, be circumspect out here, man. Because like I said, this sundown town shit is real. And like I said, I live in Michigan, in Detroit, in 8 Mile. When you get the 8 Mile movie, 8 Mile, look up 8 Mile. 8 Mile is a sundown town. When you go across 8 Mile, that used to be a big ass wall. They actually tore it down after a certain point. But that used to be a big ass wall that Eminem done his movie about, right? So just be circumspect about these things, man. You're living in America with so-called white people that stole this place with all kinds of violence. They came to the west coast of Africa and they picked your asses up and enslaved you with all kinds of violence. Now you, all of a sudden, you thinking that you're American now, that you're black, that you're all these bywords that Deuteronomy chapter 28 talks about. And again, read through chapter 28 of Deuteronomy so you can read up on some of the history of what we're going through as a nation of people that's scattered throughout the four corners of the earth amongst these so-called white people that are never going to treat you good. They're never going to treat you good. You best believe these motherfuckers still believe that same way to this very day in 2022 that they don't want you in their gated communities. That's the reason why they go to where they go to, and they build these places where it's only them. And they still have legal redlining going on, man. So just be circumspect and careful. If you got to go to their local Walmart, do that shit, like I said again, early B time in the morning. Go get all your shopping done. You want to throw a little barbecue later on that night? Don't be doing all that shit later on in the afternoon. Just get your ass up and go do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And come on home and just enjoy yourself. You know? It's nothing. It's so easy, man. It's nothing to throw the barbecue grill on. Have things that's going on over the stove. Have the people already there. You want to set up some damn balloons, whatever. Who gives a shit? You want to set up some tents? Yeah. Do whatever you want to do. But do all that stuff early, man. If you know that you got a party that's about to happen on a weekend, why don't you get the stuff the week before? Why are you got to get everything the day of? See, Jake be procrastinating too much, man. But anyway, just wanted to just touch on this. Hey, remember who you're dealing with. Remember that we're in America and we're in the captivity of our enemies. You're not Americans. This place is not your rest. The scripture goes off into that. Micah, let me get that real quick and I'll end out there. Micah 2:10, right? And we're just flowing in the spirit, man. But when I seen that, I'm like, I've done lessons on this sundown town thing. Micah 2:10, and they are all over America, and they are mostly in the South, but they was all over America. All 50 states got this shit. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. And that's the problem with our people. Our people are polluted and have been spoiled, you know what I'm saying, by thinking that they're Americans. They actually really believe that they are what the kidnappers say they are. Oh, you're one of us now. No, you're in the hands of human traffickers. They're not going to put that in the news. They're not going to teach that in critical race theory, right? Why don't they teach you that they human trafficked you and that you can't go back to your original land without their credentials? You can't leave America without the Americans fucking driver's license, their ID, their passport, their, you got to show a shot record. You done took all the shots that they say, you know. See, this is their kingdom. That's how you know that you're not free. So with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.